Major John Edmonds, Salvation Army. We were introduced to John, if I can call you John.
Absolutely.
Last year, and you were kind of new to the area. John, again, welcome to Good Morning Enid. Thanks for coming back, and again, we appreciate the work you're doing. Real quick, just kind of give us a little background, where you came from to get to Enid and things like that.
Okay, I was in Florida, in Tampa, at our headquarters,
okay.
and I transferred from there last year to Enid, and it's a wonderful place. My daughter was born here in Oklahoma City, in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So I'm really partial to Oklahoma.
Okay. So when we say beat Texas, that makes sense? I mean, we understand.
It does, and people that know me know that I don't wear orange, I wear red.
Okay.
But I love them all.
Yeah, yeah. But on Saturday,
it's
we're
red.
rooting for the
That's
Sooners.
right.
Okay.
Well, I don't know anything about that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
a little bit about your background. I know you work for the Salvation Army. Could you tell us a little bit about their role here in Enid?
Yes. The Salvation Army actually came at the time of the land run here in Enid. A Salvation Army officer came, and on the back of a wagon, he held meetings. He helped people that were in need, because a lot of people came from everywhere and needed assistance. And so that's when the Salvation Army started their work here in Enid.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's so many things synonymous, Salvation Army, red, uniforms, volunteering, meeting needs, helping people, always arriving after a disaster. I mean, there's just everything positive that's always associated with the Salvation Army. But another item that's always associated with Salvation Army is the red kettle. Right. And the ringing of the bell and so forth. And I've had the privilege to do that. A variety of us have had that privilege. Tell us a little bit about the story about ringing the bell and also the red kettle. There's a picture of, we had a gentleman, that's our good friend from Oklahoma City, Gene, that's been on our show before. Tell us about ringing the bell and
okay.
Why the kettle?
I sure will. Around the turn of the century in 1900, in San Francisco, on the docks there, a ship was stranded with passengers, and they had no place to go, and they had no money, and so they were stranded there. And Captain McVee of the Salvation Army decided, well, he remembered what they had done when he was a child. They had taken an old crab pot and put it on the dock, and so he did the same thing, and he asked for the people that passed by to put money in there so that the pot would boil over, so they could have money to help those that are on the ship. And that's where the Red Kettle campaign started.
Isn't that amazing? Just a simple story of finding a creative way of giving back, helping others, and years later, it's still thriving today. So.
Yeah, that was so interesting. I did not know any of that history behind the Salvation Army. Do you have any monetary goal for this year regarding the Red Kettle?
We do. Last year, our goal was $85,000, and we exceeded that to $93,000, and I thank Enid for that. The whole community really helped. And this year, so our goal is $100,000.
That's a lot of coins.
It is a lot of coins, a lot of change. It adds up.
And it's interesting, of all the years that I've been ringing the bell, it would seem like the individuals, and forgive me, this is not a judgmental statement, please understand my heart, but it seemed like the people that gave the most looked on the surface that they had the least to give. It was just amazing. Does that make sense? You know?
It does. Yes.
When people come by and it just looked like they were on their last dollar, if you will, but yet they would stop and they would put in that last dollar. And that probably wasn't the case, but it was just amazing, the giving spirit of all individuals doing that.
Absolutely.
Well, Major, we hear the Angel Tree Project. Oh, let me back up. If somebody wants to ring the bell and help you out, I know you're at Walmart at different locations.
We are. Yes.
What number can they call, or how can they do to get involved?
Okay, they can call us at 237-1910, and they can ask to volunteer. They can tell us which location they want to ring, and we'll set them up.
Okay, and they can do it for 30 minutes, for an hour? You need them for an hour segment, or?
Right, we would prefer an hour,
Okay.
but they can ring all day from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. if they want.
Okay, very good. Okay, this leads into the Angel Tree Project. We're very familiar with the term Angel Tree, but for our viewers, what is that project all about?
Well, the Angel Tree is where we have little angels of children, and so we put their names or their little cards on the trees, and people can come by, take the cards down, go and fill the need. If it's clothing or whatever they might need for Christmas, they will help provide those items, and then we distribute those to them on December 20th.
So, Major, where am I going to find the Angel Tree? Where do I go to help you out?
There, you can go to Oakwood Mall.
Okay.
There's one there. There's one at Atwoods, and several other businesses around the area. There's about 6 or 7 trees out in the community.
Before Aaron's next question, with the Angel Tree Project, what is the need? How many angel tree, I guess, ornaments or how many needs? Is it 200 kids? Is it, you know, what?
Right. This year is 814 children that need assistance, and so it's over 300 some families as well. And we appreciate the YMCA as well, because they have taken the older children. Our cutoff is 12 or 13, and if there's more children in the family, they would take them as well.
I appreciate you sharing that number, because sometimes we can get kind of busy and wrapped up in our own lives, but then here when you're talking about hundreds of families and hundreds of kids that need our assistance, sometimes we can kind of get lost in what we're doing and not looking outside that.
That's right.
Yeah, I had one question about that. Are all these children in Enid, or are they all throughout the United States? Or
No.
That's a great question.
Very good questions. Right here in Enid for the 814,
Wow.
but we are doing the Angel Tree nationwide, of
Okay.
course. But yes, right here is 814
that
children.
is crazy that there's 800 kids in Enid that need help.
Right.
So we definitely need to help people out. And there's not only those two wonderful programs, but I've heard of a Silver Bells program. Could you tell us a little bit about that one?
Right, our Silver Bells we started last
Is that
year.
for us?
That's for you and I. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I knew there was silver related
right.
something there.
We did it last year. We started last year, and we had about 50 to 75 seniors on our angels. It's like an angel tree, but it's on our silver bell tree. This year we have 100 seniors, and they are people who are either shut in or have no family in the area, and so we want to help them with a little bit with Christmas. It could be blankets, could be socks, it could be gloves, practical things that they may need. And we also visit our nursing home facilities, and we'll visit 600 patients throughout the area here in the next couple of weeks.
Major, we want to talk about another program the Salvation Army is involved in just a few moments, but I've got another question before we go back. We'll have Derek bring back the Oklahoma Minute here in just a quick second. But I wanted to go back to kind of tag along Aaron's question, excuse me, regarding this is meeting the need of Enid folks. So when you put money in the kettle, it's not going to Oklahoma County or anything like that.
That's right.
Can you kind of talk to us about the funds that are giving when people write a check, or if they donate, you know, coins into the kettle? Where does those funds go? Stay right here?
They stay right here in the Enid area and Garfield County, and there are many people who are in need, and most of the funds will be used at Christmas time to help with Christmas programs, with the toys or the clothing. Could be food for the family. Anything that's left over then will be used for regular emergency social services here at the Salvation Army in Enid through about March, and then it depletes by that time.
And just a reminder, Salvation Army is 24/7, 365 days out of the year. It's just not a Christmas thing.
That's right.
We hear a lot during, say, disasters or the holiday, but Salvation Army is year-round, and it's here to stay. Major John Edmonds with the Salvation Army, and we talked about Silver Bells, Angel Tree, the Red Kettle, and all that. But I know there's another program called Spruce Up a Life, something close to that. John, tell us about that program, please.
It's a wonderful program that's unique to Enid, and Enid should be proud of themselves, the entire community. What they do is buy a Christmas tree for $75, and it's a pre-lit tree, 6 foot, and companies or businesses or families will come in, churches, and decorate these trees. They'll adopt a family, and they'll buy gifts for that family, and UPS will come and package up the tree, the gifts and all, and take it right to their homes.
So where are you purchasing the tree at?
The trees have been purchased through Kmart, actually, and so they have provided 50 trees for us.
And those trees are located where? If somebody's watching this morning and say, we're going to go buy one of those $75 trees, where do they go to do that?
They go to Oakwood Mall,
Okay,
right
so it's
across
out
from
at the mall.
food court.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so it seems like everything's at the mall.
That is correct.
Where you can get plugged in. Okay, Spruce Up a Life. All right.
Yeah, there are so many wonderful programs with the Salvation Army. I did not know how many there were. There are so many. Is there any other ways besides those programs that the people can give back to the Salvation Army?
Sure. We have a pantry, so they can always come and help with groceries that we give out. They're willing to come and work in our store, or volunteers. Everything that we make in our store, the income in our store goes back into our sheltering programs, our feeding programs. We feed over 25,000 meals per year, and we have a men and women's dorm. We have a family transitional unit, and so that's where the funds come from. So there's a lot of opportunities to volunteer.